murder of Julie Ward remains one of the most infamous and mysterious cases involving a British citizen abroad. Julie, a 28-year-old wildlife photographer from the UK, was last seen alive in Kenya's Masai Mara National Reserve in September 1988. Her body was later discovered dismembered and burned, sparking an investigation that has been fraught with controversy, cover-ups, and a persistent quest for justice by her family. Julie was an adventurous and passionate wildlife photographer who had traveled extensively. In 1988, she embarked on a solo trip to Kenya, where she planned to capture images of wildlife and natural landscapes. She was driving through Kenya in her Suzuki Jeep, staying in various locations as she explored the country. She was last seen at the Mara Serena Lodge in the Masai Mara Game Reserve before her disappearance. On September 6, 1988, Julie set out on a journey from the Masai Mara to Nairobi, but never arrived. Concerned after losing contact with her, her father, John Ward, traveled to Kenya to search for her. On September 13th, Kenyan authorities claimed that Julie had been killed by wild animals or struck by lightning. However, John Ward refused to accept this explanation and continued investigating. Eventually, a gruesome discovery was made. Julie's remains were found in the Masai Mara, partially burned and dismembered. The condition of the remains suggested foul play rather than an accident or animal attack. Initially, Kenyan authorities tried to dismiss the case, suggesting she had been mauled by lions. However, forensic evidence indicated that she had been murdered, dismembered, and burned to destroy evidence. Several factors pointed to a cover-up by Kenyan officials. Delayed police response. The investigation was slow and poorly conducted. Conflicting reports. Authorities initially insisted it was an animal attack, but later changed their stance. Tampering with evidence. Critical forensic evidence was lost or destroyed. Suspicious local involvement. Some individuals in the park were suspected of involvement, yet they were not properly interrogated. Julie's father, John Ward, spent decades fighting for the truth, hiring private investigators and pushing for new inquiries. Over the years, various individuals have been suspected in Julie's murder, including 2 park rangers arrested in connection with her death, but later acquitted due to lack of evidence. Senior officials in Kenya's government. Some reports suggested a high-level cover-up. Unknown individuals. Several witnesses came forward with unverified claims. Despite multiple trials and investigations, no one has ever been convicted for Julie's murder. Julie's father, John Ward, spent over 3 decades trying to uncover the truth about his daughter's death. He traveled to Kenya over 100 times, gathered new evidence, and even challenged the Kenyan government on its handling of the case. His relentless pursuit of justice led to international media coverage and pressure on both the UK and Kenyan governments to take action. Some key developments in his investigation include private forensic examinations contradicting official reports, links to political corruption and police misconduct in Kenya, UK government involvement, though limited, in assisting with diplomatic pressure. Despite his efforts, the case remains officially unsolved. The murder of Julie Ward remains one of Kenya's most controversial unsolved crimes. Some major questions that remain: who was responsible? No one has been convicted, and theories range from local park rangers to political figures. Was there a cover-up? Evidence suggests an attempt to conceal the crime rather than solve it. Why was Julie targeted? Whether she was a random victim or knew something she shouldn't have remains unclear. Julie's case continues to be a symbol of injustice, highlighting issues of corruption, mishandled investigations, and lack of accountability.